everyone, it's Sakurada Rage here with Mr. Aaron Brooks on Ragecast, which we told you I was going to be doing a little podcast where we talk about wrestling, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, pretty much anything. And obviously, Mr. Aaron Brooks is a guest. He is a wrestler of his own name. Pretty much, I believe you're an indie wrestler, right? For now.
Yeah. Right now, independent scene.
And you do not only just do indie, so why you also do cosplays and you do other stuff, right?
Yeah. Cosplay, martial arts, Legacy Wars, just
Pretty much everything.
pretty much everything.
So
I'm a jack of all trades.
nice. But so, obviously, when did you start liking wrestling? Before anything, what drew you to it?
I think I was 5 years old. And that would have been 1996, and I saw a replay of Owen Hart versus Bret Hart in a steel cage match. It was a replay of it or something, and it was just on a random channel that I was going through, and I saw it, and I stopped down, watched the match or the clips of it, that whatever they were showing, and I was like, holy shit, I was like, these two dudes are beating the shit out of each other, and this is cool. So I was like, I got hooked on, found out they did it on a weekly programming, and discovered the WWE.
Yeah, at the time it was obviously but I mean obviously that is a very classic one, honestly, because it's one of the classics that really put WWE on the map in a way, because at the time that was when everyone started leading to WCW, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that was kind of the tail end of that, and I thought it was so interesting that these two brothers were just fighting it out in a big cage, and I was like, I was really invested in it. So I think that's what really drew me into the whole sports entertainment, professional wrestling thing.
Nice. I think for me, I will probably have to say, I think if I'm not mistaken, I will say the match would probably be between Owen Hart. Or before that, actually, I think it was between. I would say, what match did I see when I first got into wrestling? I think it was Hogan versus Macho Man, in a way. But I think for me was mostly, I believe Roddy Piper. I forgot who he fought against. Was it not Mr. T? I think it was like around that time, like Roddy Piper versus Mr. T. Because I think my aunt at the time showed me like video VHS, and I was just intrigued by it. And I think I got hooked on Roddy Piper just because a dude with a bagpipe, a Scottish guy, just like talking his shit and just beating the heck out of people with a coconut. There it is. It was a clip of the coconut on fucking Jimmy Fly Snuka's head that made me laugh as a kid, because like that was kind of funny, and I was just drawn to that.
Yeah, that's a classic. I was a huge Roddy Piper fan myself, so I understand that. That moment lives rent-free in a lot of professional wrestling fans' heads.
Yeah, I do have an autograph for Roddy Piper before his passing. So I had a friend that was a paparazzi, and he told me, hey, you like wrestling? I'm like, hell yeah, I do. And he was like, who you want? I'm like, Roddy Piper. If you go get him, dude, because I used to hook up, the paparazzi was like free food. I used to work at Yoshinoya. I used to hook him up with some free food. He'll give me an autograph for celebrities, because he'll go out there and just make money off it. And I was like, dude, give me Roddy Piper. And he's like, you got it. And I got a Roddy Piper with my name on it, all that. And then, like, I think a week later it passed. So I was like, damn. Like, for me, that's like a cherished memorabilia, something to hold on to. Because he was one of those.
Man, cool.
He was one of my favorite wrestlers. Because I mean, dude, that guy had charisma. That guy could work a promo.
One of the best, man. One of the best.
But like, honestly, for me, I think what really strive WWE. It was pretty much the Monday Night War between WCW and fucking WWE, man. Like, my brother was a big WCW fan. I was a big WWE guy, so we used to just go neck to neck, man, all the time against each other. That's just how it was. You had to pick one or the other. But obviously, for me,
I don't think a lot of people.
Oh God.
I was just going to say that, for a lot of people, they don't understand that transitioning era when WWE bought out WCW, whatever, was huge in the world of professional wrestling back then.
For sure, man.
It was unheard of. Like, you didn't know about all these independent promotions, and you didn't know about the indie scene back then. So it was these two top top tier companies, and one bought out the other, and you wanted to see them fucking go at it.
Oh yeah,
It was
man.
unheard of.
Oh yeah, because at the time WWF was or WWE was pretty much like buying a lot of companies and running territorials until eventually it was just down to those two. And pretty much it was ever who had the biggest paycheck.
Exactly. It's funny you mentioned territory, aspects of it, because I remember when I started training and stuff for professional wrestling. Back then it was like, you had this one company in this area, and then you had another in this area, and you didn't dare try to run a show in each other's towns, or there was going to be trouble between you guys, and there was going to be problems, and and now it's just kind of like that stuff's kind of died out. So it's really interesting how much independent wrestling has also changed.
Oh yeah, especially nowadays that we have more wrestling everywhere now. You have varieties now. Now it's just like one big company. Now you have AEW, you have Ring of Honor, which is owned by AEW regardless. But you have Ring of Honor, you have NWA, you have New Japan. So you have something to go to. You got AAA. So you got different areas to go to that you could just work on like whatever you want. You don't have to always go to the big companies for the money.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are missing. Like for me, like personally, not to brag or anything, but just to give the listeners out there a perspective of my career and how I am. Like I know tons of guys who have gone off and went to the WWE. I've had friends that have gone off, went to the WWE or AEW or whatever, and that's what they're going for, and that's cool. For me, I was just happy to be doing what I love, and I'm happy to travel from town to town. I mean, don't get it wrong. Everybody out there thinks, oh, you're a professional wrestler. You must make the big bucks. Man, I don't know how many times I would travel 3 or 4 hours to do a show on my own dime. Like in my own car.
Exactly.
I get there 3 or 4 hours away. I do the match. I get paid maybe $10 to $20 and a handshake and a free hot dog and a drink, and then I'm back on the road going back home another 3 or 4 hours. So it's not what everybody cracks it up to be.
And honestly, that's what a lot of indie wrestlers go through. Honestly, like I think even The Rock and them used to say before they started, they did the same thing. They traveled different, making small ends, sleeping in the gym, and they had to work for it. And this is how it goes to any wrestler. Honestly, you got to work for it just to get to the big time. You just don't go pure on luck, unless you have unless you're a family member or third generation. But even then, they have to work through it as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing, man. Like a lot of people don't understand that. Like I've slept in hotel lobbies when I was younger, and I was maybe 17, 18 years old, and I'm traveling on my own dime here. I'm a kid. I don't have that much money, so I sleep in hotel lobbies and get kicked out the next morning because I wasn't a guest there, or they thought I was I guess. I sleep in my car. I've slept in gyms, gymnasiums. Like I've slept in arenas. If the show was really like super far away, I sleep in the arena that night. Like I wait for the promoter. The promoter would leave and just be like, "Oh, here, I'll catch the next time." I would just hide out, sleep there, and then when they opened up the next morning, I would just dip out. Like, it's crazy. It's not. A lot of people assume that just because you tell them you're a professional wrestler, that it's all fame and glory, but not for the independent scene for the most part. At least not back then, anyway.
Oh, of course not, because it's a lot of blood, sweat. I mean, obviously, you're getting there, you're putting your name out there, eventually other companies pick up wind on it, or someone mentions your name, and it's like, boom, they call you. But you have to grind for that. It doesn't just happen in a miracle. You eventually have to work yourself up there. I mean, for me, I used to do backyard wrestling, which obviously is a stupid shit, because, you're a kid, or not a kid, teenagers, and you go through that whole 90s extreme edge fucking thing, and you're just going through yourself. But I mean, it's the same thing in a way. Some people who done backyard wrestling wind up making a career out of it by pretty much training and going to professional wrestlers. It's like a sample, and they're like, you know what, I want to do this more, and they do it.
See, there's a thing with that. Like a lot of wrestlers look down on people who, you're a backyard wrestler, you must not take this seriously. I disagree. I like to give everybody a chance. I'm not one to look down on someone. A lot of wrestlers that are popular today in WWE or AEW or whatever you like to watch started out wrestling in the backyard somewhere.
Funny enough, don't they have GWC's pretty much backyard wrestling in a way? It's just death matches.
Now, yeah.
So in a way, it's still the same thing. It's just that they're putting more into that.
that's another thing. Like, if you do death matches, that's cool if that's your thing. For me, I'm more of the old school.
Oh, of course.
I like the classic way of wrestling where you got storylines. You got you got a match with the good guy, bad guy, or whatever it may be. I don't have to cut myself open 14 times just to make the crowd go, oh.
I am not a big fan of it, honestly. Like, it's cool when you're younger because you're that part of that genre of putting yourself through that shit, fucking hitting yourself with light bulbs or fucking flying off something. But when you get older and you realize it's like, fuck, your body is not the same anymore. You can't take those shits anymore. Like having glass and taking it out.
I don't know exactly. Like I don't know how many times I've done a match and the guy's like, hey, you want to do, how about I give you this move? And then when I was like in my, I was 19, 20, 21, I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, man, I'll take that. That would be cool. And now I'm like, do I really want to put my body through that? Like,
exactly.
I'm
like
fuck that. Waking up sore the next morning. I'm like, how about we just do a headlock? Like,
yeah,
I'm to that point now, but
I always been more of like
I
always been more of like a technical wrestler. I like technicians, submissions. I'm not a high flyer. I was a skinny boy, but I couldn't do no high flyer. I'm afraid of heights. I'd rather be those guys like Taz that doing submissions or fucking working the body parts, just fucking doing technical things. Because I can't high fly that shit. I ain't Rey Mysterio,
See, I grew up with a martial arts background. I was filming, for those of you out there who are listening, probably don't know who I am. I grew up in a martial arts household with my uncle. I've done martial arts since I was 6 years old, and I've done it every day because he owned a martial arts school, like an academy for it. And I just grew up in it, so I got my black belts and everything, and jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, karate, aikido, just about anything. Yeah, just about anything.
So you can fuck up someone, even without faking it. You can just beat the hell out of them.
Yeah. If I have to, like that's, because I did cage fighting when I started cage fighting when I was 16. My uncle had a team. I started cage fighting when I was 16.
Yeah.
And then a family friend of ours, my uncle's best friend, he started training down at the old WCW power plant. Like, he started training with them, and he became a professional wrestler.
The classic power, the fucking classic, right? Yeah. With Bill Goldberg and them, they just show up because they're beefy.
Yep.
Boom, they already start them.
Yeah.
The power plant.
He went down there and trained with those guys, Goldberg and all them, and he's like, he came to like a Christmas one year and was like, he's like, hey, you like that wrestling stuff, right? And I was like, yeah, man. Like, he goes, I know you're doing the fighting thing now, but like, if you ever want to get trained, I know the right guys, the right gym. Like, just hit me up. I thought about it, and I was like, man, I'm gonna, after so many fights with my martial arts career, I was like, I think this time I kind of step back from that because I'm already undefeated. I think I got like one loss or one draw or something. I was like, I'm gonna try wrestling because I love it. So I called him up, and I got in touch with the right people and started training, and along the way, one of the guys that trained me is actually I wouldn't say, well, I guess I could say he's a very popular WWE superstar now, but I mean, he was really big on the independent scene as well. Yeah.
Who trained you, or who was it?
Fergal Devitt, which most people out there will know as Finn Balor.
Ooh, and he just had a match too, and I gotta say, dude, honestly, that gash, oh my goodness, what a fucking trooper that Finn Balor is.
Man, I can tell you, he was very upset because it kind of killed the momentum of the match. Now that they got these rules that, if there's blood, they got to stop the match and take a look at you.
I mean, yeah, but honestly, I was there. I'd rather at least have them like at least stall a little bit just to heal him, because even if he's bleeding, that was a big gash. I don't think he realized how big that gash was.
No, I don't think he did either. Like, I saw it, like, he, showed me, and it was, it was pretty deep. And I think that it was the right call to do that, especially with the gash that deep, but, like...
Because he would have been lightheaded, honestly.
I just felt bad for him in that match, because, like, the match was really good. It just, like, he lost. And for me... we're gonna break the fourth wall here for people that don't, if you don't like behind the wall shit, you might want to stop listening, people. But for me, like, where do you go with Finn Balor from now? Edge's contract is probably almost up.
Well,
and I doubt they'll renew it. And if they do, good on him. But like, if they, the demon character, okay, like, I loved what they did with this match. You know, he got hit in the back with a chair at the beginning. He just stood up and looked at him and started beating his ass. You know, but now what do you do with him? You know what I mean?
Honestly, as a fan point, or if I was storytelling it, you already ended it with Finn, but now you could build up a new chapter with something. Because obviously, Edge wants to retire in Toronto, which is probably like around the corner. And honestly, from what I've been watching on the pay-per-views and storytelling, they've been beating Edge. They've been put into, I guess in a way, they ended it by Edge winning. And I get why a lot of people get mad. Is like, why is Edge winning? He's a veteran. But in a way, Finn's been pretty much, storytelling-wise, has been dominating Edge since way back.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I get that.
That like,
but like,
yeah,
where you go for this?
That he lost, right, like, I'm not saying
honestly,
because I know the guy.
Honestly, I think tag belts for me, because now that you don't have the Usos having the belts anymore, you can have Judgment Day go for the belts, Priest and Finn, or push Finn for the United States if anything. Because honestly, you have obviously they're setting up Puerto Rico for Dom versus Dom, Priest versus Bunny and Mysterio. It's already set up, which I already knew it since like after Mania when Bad Bunny interfered. And I think honestly they should build up Finn's for either to go not after Roman, obviously, but at least the United States, if anything, or
you know, I would agree. I think like, and this isn't me having a personal vendetta out for just because I know Finn and I trained under him. I think that like what my issue is like, I get why Edge beat him. You know, he beat his demons. He finally beat his demons that were the Judgment Day, since he once was the leader of that group, and now he kind of moves on. If you ask me, like, yeah, and this is going to probably piss a lot of people off that follow WWE, like, Cody losing at WrestleMania was the right move.
Of course. I already had the Roman shirt already. I was already wearing it because, honestly, I get it, but it's like my friend told me, I think this is a right call because Cody has not faced adversity since coming back. Since he's came back, what has he been doing? Winning, right?
Correct, yeah.
He's
that's
won.
my thing is what
he won against Seth. He tore a pec. He still won. Came back to the Royal Rumble at number 30. Won. He beat Solo Sikoa's undefeated streak. And from there, it's like, I get why people are mad. They want Cody to get it off Roman. They're tired of Roman. But I mean, Roman's close to his 1,000 holding the belt, you know?
That's what's going to happen. This is what people don't understand. And I'm going to give some people my personal opinion and insight on that. You know, if Cody won at WrestleMania, hypothetically, where do you go from there with Cody now? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You get the rematch with Roman, sure, but that's one pay-per-view. Right now, as far as and this is a little insider from what I've heard, Roman's set to feud with Lashley, Rollins, and Orton next, and then his final feud will be with Cody again. And I think what's going to happen is they're saving Cody to win those belts for after Roman hits the 1,000 days.
Yeah, of course.
What they're going to do is probably break up the bloodline completely when it comes time for Cody to wrestle for the titles again, or he's going to break them up, and then that's going to cost Roman the titles. Because right now, like, everyone's mad. Oh, Brock Lesnar beat Cody's ass. Well, okay, so WWE just sold to that company, right?
Yeah, which is UFC,
sold, right?
Which is Ronda Rousey and kind of Brock kind of shit, yeah.
And which is why they need to have a monstrous, big-ass killer heel
now.
And Roman's a good heel. But when you think of it, when you think of UFC, who do you think of? You think
obviously
of
Brock.
The people you think of is Brock Lesnar. Okay,
of
so
course.
He's kicking ass, and that's the thing. He beat Cody's ass because, like you said, he has to face adversity. And to get back to Roman, what he's going to do, he's going to go through Brock. He's going to go through some other stuff, and then when after Roman hits those 1,000 days, then you have the big rematch or like whatever, and then there's the payoff for Cody right there. He beats Brock Lesnar. Say that. Or so to say, maybe they'll do that. Say he has his thing with Brock Lesnar and he beats him, and then he moves on to whoever, he faces that adversity, and then he rises up.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of people are mad because they feel like maybe this is all Vince McMahon shit. And I get it. I don't blame him if Vince is back. It's horrible. But obviously, he hijacked Monday Night Raw, but because everything felt like a Vince McMahon shit. And it just came out of nowhere, Brock turning heel. But the way that I see it is like, remember when John Cena lost to The Rock the first time? And then Brock came back? It's legit like that storyline all over again in a way. Where he felt defeated, and then Brock just came and beat him, and now it's like, let's do this all over again. But hopefully, like
$100%.
I feel like we'll find out if Vince is really back on Friday if he travels to Baltimore. Because people are saying the reason why, maybe because he was in LA already, might as well fucking hijack it and say fuck you all to the fans. You know, I'm gonna do it my way just for today. And obviously, like, and if he finds out Friday, if he goes to Baltimore, then Vince is back, obviously, in creative. But let's hope that. Because honestly, I don't want it. I think Triple H has been doing a fantastic job in long-term storytelling.
Oh yeah, 100%. Triple H is he has one of the best minds for professional wrestling that I've ever seen, that I've ever met, that I've ever talked to. The guy's a genius.
Yeah.
And, that was people can be mad. Oh well, Brock Lesnar did this, and then flipped off Cody, and he flipped off Cody because it's a fuck you because Cody and John Moxley posted a picture a while back of flipping off the camera, and that went to Triple H, and he destroyed the throne. No.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying. That a lot of people were doing that. I'm like, dude,
it has nothing to do with that.
Triple H and Cody are best friends.
Yeah, first off. And second off, the whole thing is when you think about it, it comes back down to the company being sold because they want to be edgy now. They want to be edgier. They're part of the UFC. They're under the same umbrella as the UFC now.
Oh, yeah.
And now, they want to seem edgier. So what a cooler way to end Monday Night Raw after being sold to $1 billion company than have Brock Lesnar, who was also a UFC heavyweight champion, go out there and beat up one of the most popular guys on the roster right now, and then flip him off as well as the entire crowd. Now that's edgy, that's cool, that's, oh shit, this dude's a fucking beast. That's what they were going for. Had nothing to do with Kobe's past.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Honestly, I obviously I was at WrestleMania, and you got me. You can't talk about it, but you were there as well. Yeah. Doing your own thing. Not gonna say what, but
Yeah, I'm sure I can say it. I mean, if someone's gonna sue me, they're gonna sue me. I was there for backstage work for a tryout. I've done a few of them, and
well, of course you could. I mean, you could say tryout because what was it? What was that basketball player last time that was doing a tryout? Was it Dwayne? No, I forgot. It was a basketball player last time that was doing all that SummerSlam.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you could try out. You could say try out, yeah.
Yeah, so I sat back there and I was doing things because, like I said, I know some people, but like at this point in my professional wrestling career, I mean, if Triple H was to call me tomorrow and say, "Hey, we want to put you in NXT," I'd probably say, all right, I'll do it for a bit, and then because I'm 31, you know what I mean? I'm not 20. 21, 22, 23.
Hey man,
I'm 31 years old.
DDP did it at super late, right? And look what happened to him.
I know. Yeah, I mean that's true. Like,
never say never, man. Old people could still wrestle. If DDP could do it in his 35s or almost in his 40s, anyone could do it. It's just obviously you've been doing it for a longer time.
I appreciate that, man. That's like something something Jason David Frank had told me. He's like, my career didn't start until I was in my my 30s. He said Chuck Norris told him that as well, like his career didn't start till he was
exactly.
in his 40s. So
it's just time.
I always kind of took that. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But honestly, I think WrestleMania was a good experience. Night 1 and 2, I don't care what people say. Night 2 felt like I don't think it was. I think it was pretty good. It needed to be what it needed to be. I get people are mad that I get people are mad that Asuka lost. Like the ones they want to win lost. But for me, I think Bianca Belair needs to be more stronger. I think she had very bad a year in a way. Like she did some matches, but several matches were like You had her fight against Alexa Bliss. You had her fight against not really tough competitors. You get me?
Right. Yeah.
And same with the SmackDown bout. Didn't really have much competitors either. Like I'm glad Rhea Ripley won because I'm tired of Charlotte Flair. But who isn't? She's always.
Charlotte was a placement holder for Rhea.
Yeah, even though I kind of felt bad.
You were never gonna get Rhea Ripley versus Ronda Rousey for the championship.
God no, I'm still mad that Liv Morgan lost it to Ronda Rousey. But at the same time, it's like SmackDown didn't have anything. So when Liv won, I felt bad because they put it to Ronda, and it's like, great, you gave her the bout, but now you're gonna make her lose to Ronda. What the hell? At least give her someone else. And then I'm glad she beat Ronda one time, even though it was controversial. And then she beat Shayna. But I mean, honestly, SmackDown at the time had a very rough women's division, or champions in a way.
Yeah, they did, and I'm hopeful now that Rhea's got the title. I think that she's going to be defending it a lot more, and I think that you're going to get a lot more women's title matches, on screen and pushed and stuff.
Just keep Ronda away from that. Put her in the tag division.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. She's a good person in real life. She's an ass kicker, but when it comes to wrestling or the business, she's just there to kick ass. She's not there to act or do her best. She just wants to beat people up. And it's like, it really kills the fun in it. I don't mind her heel turn. I think she was pretty good playing the bitch, but that's really just it. Like, she's not great. But
she's alright, but like I don't know, but me personally, it doesn't matter who I'm watching on TV for WWE, whatever. I always nitpick a little bit because it just because I'm a wrestler myself, so I can't help but kind of dissect.
Oh yeah.
Footwork, ring awareness. If they took this bump properly, or if that looked like it hurt, or if they.
Yeah. Ronda did a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like, I felt bad for Shotzi too, but during that whole champion, yeah, exactly, there it is. The Shotzi match was pretty bad too. I felt bad for Shotzi just trying to do all the work, and Ronda just goofed up a couple times.
Yeah, Shotzi, she's really nice too. She dated one of my friends on the independent scene before she went to NXT. She's a sweetheart. And then another person who dated one of my friends was Seth Rollins, but he was Tyler Black.
Oh yeah, I remember him from the MTV one, XPW.
Yeah, and I used to I wrestle. I have a handful of matches on YouTube against his tag team partner Merrick Brave, who he opened the school with. And there was a few matches I did against him, so I had quite a few with his tag partner.
Yeah, Seth Rollins really stole the match, I think, in my opinion, for night one. Him and Logan were pretty good.
Yeah, I don't care. Really quick, I want to say I really don't give a shit what anybody says about Logan Paul. The dude took it seriously, and he's got some talent.
I don't care about Logan Paul outside of WWE because from past shit, but honestly, that guy is a fucking good wrestler. That guy knows what to do, how to act it. Honestly, I didn't like him as a face. He's more of a he's more of a heel guy. He plays it off so naturally since he is one. Right. But like, man, that guy could fucking wrestle, and he put seats on it. He brought viewership when he needed it, and that's why I like that.
And another guy I want to shout out really quick while we're on the subject before we switch subjects or whatever you want to talk about is another guy that I grew up on the indies with, who's a super talented guy, super good. I'm happy that he's doing his thing up there. Is Ricochet.
Oh, dude, Ricochet's a fucking hell of a beast. That guy could high fly that shit.
He's one of the, if not the best high flyer I've ever met. He's a super good dude. Like, when we were on the independent scene together, doing shows together, man, he's super humble, super nice, and always wanting to lift up his opponents. Like, and I'd like to see him go for like a major title at some point. But I mean,
he was King Puma, right? Or what was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Prince Puma, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he was with Lucha Underground, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Lucha Underground.
And Lucha Underground was over here, and I believe by ELAC in Cali.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember those.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope nothing but good things happen to him in his career. He deserves. I'd like to see him get a big title win, but we know how they.
Yeah, I know.
Guys his size, how they look at him.
Well, eventually, I heard they're gonna be doing a new bout. Hopefully, they give a bout where they can at least compete. Because I mean, I think the Cruiserweight Classic was pretty good, the Cruiserweight bout. But it's a shame that they didn't utilize it very well. They just they could have had a lot of these high flyers and shit. Bring something back. Because you have a lot of these high flyers on the roster. What are you gonna do with them?
The Cruiserweight title was it it started to mean nothing as soon as they put it on Enzo Amore.
I don't know, man.
Sorry.
I think Ezra Ramone really brought some life into it.
Okay, he did. I'll give him that. He can talk, but the dude cannot wrestle with shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean that was a pro. It was supposed to be just his promo skills to bring in the viewership on the cruiserweights. He's not gonna wrestle. That guy is.
There's a reason why he got kicked off the bus by Roman Reigns.
Please! I know that he's a fucking real piece of shit. That's just how he is. But the guy could promo.
No, the dude can promo for days, and I love his promo work. As a human being, not such a big fan. As a wrestler.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, but that's just me. But
nah. I don't know. I feel like they should at least bring in more for these high flyers. You have all these high flyers everywhere, and nothing to do with them.
I mean, Ricochet is a prime example of that. I mean, him teaming with Braun Strowman it's good, but it's weird.
Well, I get why they did it with Braun Strowman to teach him a lesson because him tweeting that whole flippy kicky things really pushed a lot of nerves. So in a way, it was like not a punishment, but like here. You're going to be tag teams with him. And obviously it worked in a way. Big guy, little guy.
Man, if they need a name, they need to come up with some sort of name called like Bullet Train or something. Like
Ricka Train, if anything.
Yeah, maybe that too, but...
But honestly, like, everything about wrestling I just love about it. It's just, obviously people are like, it's fake. Yeah, so is everything else we watch. Like, so is, like, movies you watch. So is your Marvel movies. Everything is fake. It's storytelling.
And whenever someone tells me, and I've had this happen on multiple occasions, when they find out what I do or, any of this, or they see my matches on YouTube, or they see my picture, whatever it is they see, or however they find out about me, they're like, oh, so you do that fake shit, right? And I used to get so mad when I was younger, like when I was coming up and I was, my early 20s, but now I'm just kind of like, this has always been my response to that. Oh, you do the fake shit. That shit's fake, right? My response is, okay, well, do you you like going to the movies, right? Well, yeah. Okay, you like going to the movies. Do you sit in the crowd in the movies with your popcorn and your soda, candy, and a girl that's probably way out of your league, but she's only with you because you got money?
Right.
And you sit there and you look at the screen, and the movie starts, right? You're excited. The movie starts. You're like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah, man. And it starts. Do you once in that movie theater look at the screen and say, well, this is fake? Oh, man, this is fake. That guy doesn't really he didn't really kill that guy. I know that actor. Like, no, you don't. You go to the movies for entertainment and to be shocked, thrilled, excited, whatever it is.
Exactly.
And that's why people go to professional wrestling shows. A majority of these people know that it's staged, know that it's choreographed, know a lot about it,
Yeah.
But they go for the entertainment. They go because they're invested in storylines. They go because for some it's an outreach from what they're going through in their personal lives, and they want to be entertained. And it's like a movie, but in real life.
Exactly.
You got the good guys, you got the bad guys, you got the hot chicks, you got the not so hot chicks. You got guys flipping and flying everywhere. You got big, strong guys throwing guys around, throwing people out of the ring. Then you got people like me who's more of a striker and kicking the shit out of people and chopping the shit out of people. You got characters, you got dynamic, you got promos, you're entertained.
Exactly, man.
So that's my response to anybody that's like, oh, that's fake. That's fake, right? Oh, you're a wrestler, so you do fake shit, right? It may be fake to you, but I can't tell you how many times I've been cut open. I've had stitches. I broke my leg. I've dislocated my shoulder. I've been hit in the head with chairs.
Thank you. Exactly.
I've had stitches in my head, my ear. I broke my left leg, which the bone still kind of sticks out. You can see it. I've dislocated my left shoulder 3 times and my right shoulder twice. I've had I've had to go to the doctor for pulled muscles.
Yeah, people don't realize that this shit is like, yeah, it's fake, okay, but the pain you go through isn't like that. None of that is. Look at Shane McMahon. Look at Finn Balor. They hurt themselves.
I had one guy who was really big into like making it, oh, it's just fake, trying to act like a real tough guy from this group of girls that he was trying to woo and probably trying to take one of them home at this party we were at. We were all at this big party at my buddy's house back in 2016, I want to say.
Yeah.
And it was a big house party after a wrestling show, and this dude was like, hey, that's cool, I watched it, I think that shit you guys do is fake, but, you should do that real shit. And everybody points to me like, oh, well, Aaron dig that real shit. He was a cage fighter prior. He's like, oh, yeah, well, you went from real fighting now to fake fighting, right? And, there's like 6 girls in this group over here at this party that he was trying to glue in, that he was talking to. I mean, there was a ton of people there, probably about 120 of us there, guys and girls, right? Alcohol's flowing, music's going, food's around. And this dude's like, he's probably drunk or buzzed a little bit, whatever. And he's trying to, he was trying to hit on this group of girls, and so he wanted to act like a tough guy. Mm-hmm. And I looked at him and I said, okay. I was like, so if it's so fake, why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you come here? I want you to take your shirt off. He goes, you want me to take my shirt off? I said, yeah, I want you to take your shirt off. Come here. Don't be scared.
God, I already know where this is going.
So, yeah, he took his shirt off. And, Duke's in pretty good shape. Looks like he goes to the gym. I'm like, okay, well, so do I. I go to the gym, big deal. So he takes it off, and he tosses. Hey, quit. Sorry. He takes. Hey, quit. Anyway, he takes his shirt off, tosses it to this group of girls, and he's like, yeah, what? You want to take my shirt off for what? And I'm like, no, I just want you to come here. I want you to come here for a minute. And he comes over to me, with his chest puffing out, and I said, that's good. Keep that chest out there.
Oh, God, I already know it.
Here's what we're going to do. I said, yeah, you know what's coming. I said, okay, so you think what I do is fake, right? You fake hit each other. I said, all right, I want you to stay just like that. I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to give you a chop. He looks at me. He goes, a chop? Oh, okay, whatever. I don't think he really knew what I meant.
I do. Wrestling terms, I know.
So I looked at him. I said, all right, I want you to brace yourself. Put your arms like this. Or whatever, dude. I was like, all right, man. I told everybody around the room, I said, shh, be quiet. Tone down for a second. I said, all right, buddy. So you tell me if this feels fake and if it looks fake. I reared up and I chopped the shit out of his chest.
Jesus.
And after the first chop, I busted his chest open.
Exactly.
And, yeah, I chop hard. I learned from the best. And everybody around me just goes, oh! And this dude, crumbles to his knees. It's like, what the fuck, man? That really hurt. I said, call wrestling fake now.
Exactly.
He never did the rest of the night.
They don't realize those chops fucking hurt. Those chops hurt. After watching Gunther, I'm like, God damn, I gotta want to get those because those slaps. Or if in case of Kofi Kingston and Big Show, have your chest cave in, and that shit's still caved in.
Exactly right. See, there's a picture I have floating. There's a picture on my Instagram actually. If this was live, I would send it to you, show on the screen. But there's a picture of me chop. The photographer caught me mid chop on my opponent in the corner, and you can see as my finger slide, you see his chest busted open, and blood just on his chest after as I'm in mid chop. So I didn't even get fully chopping yet, but from the beginning of the chop, you can see his chest is fully busted open. He's bleeding from the chest because I chopped him.
See, that's the 101 that I know when people ask stupid questions. Wrestling is fake, and I guarantee I've seen a lot of these people do it where they're like, all right, stick your chest out. Bah! You could see their fucking life flash before their eyes because they don't realize those chops are fucking real. You gotta learn to take those, because they're gonna fucking hurt.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, obviously there's a certain way to do a professional wrestling chop, and it's a certain way that's not gonna, it's not gonna stop your heart. It's not gonna.
Oh yeah, of course.
It will hurt. And there's the dude I just spoke of that I busted his chest open in the match with some chops. It happened. Because yes, I have a hard chop, and I'll throw chops, but only when I feel like it. I wasn't really feeling like it this match. But this dude started it, right? He was fairly new. He put me in the corner, and he chopped me across the nipples.
Jesus Christ, that shit must have ripped.
I looked at him. Yeah, it did. And he grabs me. I was like, don't do it again. That was my fucking nipple. The dude doesn't listen. He does it again. And I'm like, all right, man. I was like, one more fucking time. One more time. You do this, I'm gonna fuck you up. Again, he grabs me, and he does it again. I grabbed him, no sold the last chop, threw him in the corner, and I busted his chest open with about 4 or 5 chops. And I think there's a video of it somewhere. You can just hear each chop ringing throughout the arena, and my hand was covered. My hand was I don't want to say shaking, but it was almost ringing. You could feel the as if you were kind of if you pushing a lawnmower for a long period of time, and then stop, your hand still has that kind of motor feet. Yeah, that's how my hand felt. And I looked down at my tape, and my tape's got blood on it, and my hand does, and I look at him, and he's on the ground with his chest, and there's blood on the mat. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have shot me in the nipples, man.
Honestly, like I think I see a lot of videos where wrestlers teach other wrestlers that lesson. Like when they tell them to do something, they do it wrong. When they're trying to be stiff on it on purpose, you see a lot of wrestlers get pissed off on it and they get revenge like that, and then they'll fuck your ass up just to teach you a lesson.
Yep, happens a lot. That's how I learned.
Oh yeah. I believe, if I remember correctly, when I was watching Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar, Braun did a stiff kick, and fucking Brock just put him back in his place, punched him, I think, really hard to teach him, like, don't be doing that shit.
Yeah, Braun kneed Brock Lesnar in the face, and Lesnar stood up, kneed him in the gut, and then punched him square in the head and say, slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what you gotta do, man. That's what I do. Like, I wear kick pads for a reason. I mean, I'm gonna kick you, and it's gonna make a noise. But
exactly.
Like, I'm also warning you that if you fuck up or you stiff me after I tell you not to, I'm gonna fucking after I warn you, I'm gonna fire back, man. That's gonna hurt.
Yep. Honestly, that's what I like about wrestling is just the thrill of it, man. Off screen, on screen is just the thrill of it. It's just fucking being there for my first time at WrestleMania was just so different than watching it on TV. It's just the electrifying feel of it, honestly. The atmosphere and all that.
All over again.
Oh yeah, I would love to do it all over again. Obviously, it's a lot different because you don't get no commentary. So what you hear on TV is not what you hear on obviously live. You're seeing straight wrestlings. Right, yeah. So like it's just a different atmosphere, but I love it. It's just fuck the screaming, the singing, everything, man. It just gets you pumped up.
Going to a live event like that, especially WrestleMania of all things, man, like it's very special, and it's like it's like losing your virginity over again.
Oh yeah, the Cody Rhodes entrance, you're just everyone's shouting "Wolf!" Like you can feel the vibration, like everything. Edge theme song, you're singing it, like everything just felt so great.
I just want to say one really quick about WrestleMania. Like one of the highlights of WrestleMania for me was the Demon having his old entrance music.
Oh God, yes, I was in the stands. I was waiting for that. I was hoping they bring it just to do that because I want to fucking live that. Just when the music just hits that part, and you just put your hands up. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, like there's some wrestling matches of me online and some pictures of me where I did a body and face paint in homage to honor him.
I saw that.
And, kind of like, and so many people are like, oh, you're just copying him. Like, do you know who trained me? No. And then I tell them, they're like, oh, so I'm like, this is kind of my way of like thanking him, honoring him.
Honestly, dude, Finn Balor is like the fucking most chiseled fucking dude I've ever seen. No fucking fat on him. No fat on him.
No, this dude, like, I can tell you, his workout routine is brutal, and his diet routine's even more brutal. I'm like, dude, I don't know how you do it. He's like, oh, it's easy, and he tells me everything. I'm like, nah, man, fuck that. Like,
I can't do that.
You think that's fucking easy? I'm like, I can, but I don't want to.
No. I think out of all the wrestlers, Finn Balor is the one I that's just the most fucking chiseled fucking dude. You could legit fucking eat on his abs, man. That's just ridiculous how the fucking. It makes me want to lose fucking weight just looking at him. I'm like, God, I want to lose the fucking weight. Just look like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, I think Finn Balor is one of my wrestlers I think I got into when he came in. Because I never seen him before. So when I saw him in NXT, I was like, man, this guy could fucking wrestle. This guy could do anything. Dude, I was devastated when he won the bout and lost it because his shoulder got popped. But
yeah, man.
That guy is pretty good wrestler. I felt bad when they didn't use him that much. But when Triple H took over, he started using them more.
Oh, yeah, because Vince McMahon doesn't like Finn Balor.
Because he got injured, right? It had to be when he got injured. He was injury prone.
No, he was never a big fan of him. Triple H loves the guy, so Triple H pushed for him to win the title, and Vince gave it a shot, and Vince took the opportunity to say, oh, well, he got hurt, so I don't let this is exactly why I didn't want to do it.
That's not his fault, though. That was all fucking Seth's fault. It's not. This is when Seth was, very, fucking prone to botching shit. Like Bachu Banks, Sasha Banks.
So Vince was never very big on Finn in the first place. Triple
Nah,
H loves him.
Vince has never been keen
Finn
on
was never.
fucking lightweight dudes. He's always been keen on beef. Was it big sweaty men?
Yeah, big sweet.
Like that's all Vince was. Hulk Hogan, all that. He doesn't like these lightweight dudes. And it's like, dude, the lightweight guys are your business. They are your future.
Exactly. A lot of people want to see the high flyers or the quick movers. Because we've seen The Rock versus Cena, we've seen Triple H versus The Rock, Stone Cold versus The Rock, Stone Cold,
Hulk Hogan
Triple
versus
H,
Andre the
Undertaker,
Giant,
Rock,
like all this shit.
Hulk Hogan, Rock, Undertaker. Yeah, like now A quick question though: is this your first episode of this podcast?
It will be my first episode when it comes to wrestling talk. Yes, but I would say.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. This is kind of like, I believe, my second episode because the first one was with Yuvan Gospel, which was like Kamen Rider Revive. So that was like a way of doing it. I always wanted to do like a little podcast where I just talk with random people, like just chill talk. We just talk about random shit, what we on our mind. But I figure wrestling, since you like wrestling, I was gonna do it with a bunch of dudes too because we all win, but we all had different plans. But I'd rather talk to someone that's more in the professional wise, who's done it already.
I appreciate it, man. I love this shit. Like I've done a lot of podcasts, I've done a lot of interviews, done a lot of shit for wrestling and whatnot. And, this one was definitely special to me because you're a friend of mine, and I love seeing your channel grow.
Oh, of course.
I love seeing the stuff you put out, man, and even if it's not my cup of tea, I still watch it just to see what it's about.
Hey man, who doesn't love me raging?
Oh, I like it. I think it's funny sometimes.
But honestly, like when it comes to wrestling, man, like wrestling is just something about wrestling I always loved growing up. Like you had Power Rangers and you had wrestling. Is like fuck. What do you gotta watch both? You gotta watch Power Rangers. You gotta watch fucking wrestling. And the Attitude Era was, I think, peak wrestling at the time. A lot of people would still bring it up. I'm like, yeah, but thing is, you gotta understand that was the '90s. '90s was edgy. '90s was edge.
Yeah.
Of course, you're gonna go with Attitude Era. It's different when you get older because now it's like the generation changes. You have to accommodate to the generation that changes.
Exactly, man. You get it, man. That's spot on.
And I tell people, like, dude,
because I think.
Go on.
No, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, honestly, I think people don't realize that Attitude Era had a lot of fucking wacky ass shit. As you get older and you watch it now, and it's like, holy shit, they had a pimp that wrestles. They had all these fucking shits. And you realize like it's like no different than the '80s. '80s had their gimmicks, which was like construction workers being wrestlers, clowns being wrestlers. '90s had pretty much anything, all craziness be wrestlers. You got UFC fighters being wrestlers. You had a more undead guy being a wrestler, turned into a biker. You had all these shits. Don't forget Dancing Midian.
Oh yeah, damn.
And puking draws. So you had all these shits in the '90s.
It's the thing with that is like nowadays, like you said, you hit the nail on the head. Like you have to adapt to the new generation because with the way the state of the world is so fragile now when it comes to humor and it comes to being. Everyone's offended by everything these days.
Oh well, yeah.
I'm glad and thankful that I grew up in the era I did. In the '90s, because I still have that mentality. If I offend you, well, too fucking bad.
Of course.
That's how I am. And for professional wrestling, that's essentially what I do as well. Like, especially if I'm a heel, like I ain't gonna be too big of a dick, but I'm gonna be a dick. I like to.
You're gonna be a dick, but not enough to push buttons, kind of dick in a way.
Right. Well,
you're gonna get some hate, but not too much hate.
Yeah, like I can tell you. I mean, I've had people slash my tires after shows after they find out what car I'm in. I've had people like soap my cars, like write shit on my cars or key my cars. Like and people are like, you don't get mad about that? I'm like, no, I think it's funny because I'm doing my job right.
Exactly.
And but
you're doing what a heel does.
Like nowadays, you can't. If you go out in a promo, and you say, well, that's gay. Someone is gonna get offended.
Oh well, yeah.
Someone is gonna get, and I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you don't like me saying that, but I mean that's just how it is. Everyone has such a fragile, personality these days that they get offended with everything. Like, someone's offended if you say, I want that car because I like, I like black cars. And they're like, well, what's that supposed to mean? the fuck do you think it's supposed to mean?
Yeah. So people take it the wrong way.
I mean, yeah, like so for with wrestling, you just kind of have to grow to because if you don't adapt, then you lose your audience.
True.
If you lose your audience, you lose money. If you lose money, then you have no company no more.
True, but you don't also want to be like Rick Steiner either.
No, fuck that dude.
You don't want to be like King. What happened to him? There's a limit to being a heel and a limit to going too far, being a old kook who hasn't like really learned to not say shit. You know.
That dude's a dick anyway, man.
I mean, for me,
so many different wrestlers I could tell you. But
yeah. I mean, for me, I grew up in like a little bit of the late 80s, 87 to like 90s, so I went through all that shit, but at the same time, I learned to kind of adapt with the generation because I got to. Right. I mean, when you have to learn to adapt with the generation and learn to not say things because everything is offensive nowadays. Anything can offend anyone.
Sure.
So you got to learn to just pretty much keep your mouth shut and just say, you know what? What are you? I'm like, I'm pretty much whatever. That's I'm okay with whatever you want to be. That's fine. But I'm not going to pester you either. That's what you want to be. Go for it. I'm not going to be fucking say that's wrong. That's nothing. Because, I mean, we grew up in the 90s when it was a lot different. We grew up with offensiveness everywhere. You know? And our 90s was just a bad fucking generation when it came to a lot of shit. You could say things to people and, like, get away with it. Nowadays, you can't. So it's like, yeah, you got to learn to adapt with it.
Exactly, because man, like if you think about it, it's so weird because things that you could say back in the '90s,
you can't say it now.
Are so offensive now.
Yeah.
If you say it now, there some places there's a law that you can get arrested for saying.
Of course. So that's why I say you got to learn to adapt to generations because the generation's a lot different now.
And back in the '90s, if you had a friend and that friend was gay or something, right?
Yeah.
You can joke about it with them. Nowadays, if you joke about it with anyone, like, I saw this video the other day, I'm sorry, I'm not getting political, and I promise you I'm not going to go on about this. Like, I saw this video, someone said that they identify as a red-tailed hawk trapped in a person's body, and they were serious, and I looked at that, and I said, this is really, this is what we've come to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I would have been like, you know what, you do you, man, that's just how you are.
That's cool, if that's your thing, you do you, but like, if you don't address that person by what they want to be called, they get mad, they cry, they get offended, they want to sue you. Shit, try growing up in the 90s, you wouldn't have fucking made it.
No, you wouldn't. That's why people realize that the generations change and it's like a lot different than compared to back then. Very different.
It's like I have to be careful now. Like when I cosplay Deadpool and I go with these cons, like speaking of Comic Cons, not to shift the gears quickly, but like I'm this December I'm a guest at Comic Con as a cosplay guest, so I'll have my own table, I'll have a booth, and I'll have a panel that I'll do, and I'll talk about cosplay with people. Yeah.
Are people offended by Deadpool?
Yeah.
For what?
Not, because he's just because Deadpool's. He's kind of, he's this mercenary that's got no filter. Like
I get that, but it's a comic book character. It's like
exactly. Well, people get offended if I say something in character that is out of. Touch
oh well, yeah. Of course, you're not gonna be saying that. You're gonna act like.
Yeah, but even if I do say something that offends somebody, it's not to offend them. Like not something drastically, but if I just make a comment about somebody's costume, not pervertedly or anything like that, just something funny. Someone gets offended these days, so you got to be careful with what you say and do, even as a comic book.
I mean, true, yeah, you're right. There's some people there were people get offended because yeah, I get it.
Right, it's like the actor T.J. Miller who played Weasel in Deadpool. He's not returning for Deadpool 3 because he got offended at that Ryan Reynolds made jokes at him on set. It's Ryan Reynolds. He was a comedian first.
True.
Like. He said something that offended you. I'm sorry, but like.
But isn't T.J. Miller known for being in shows that were offensive or like movies where he played like an offensive person?
Yeah, and he was also accused of something with a minor. So.
Oh yeah, get the hell.
Yeah, he got really no fucking talk. But yeah, man, like it's just this. Today's generation is just kind of soft, and they have no. They're not thick-skinned. Sorry,
yeah.
If you're listening to this and you're growing up in this generation, you're still a kid, you got a lot to learn.
Oh, they will. They got internet for that now.
Internet's everything.
I am surprised no one got offended doing the Pledge of Allegiance or the national anthem at SoFi Stadium.
And it's so weird, right? Because nowadays, if
you can't even do it.
In school, like
you can't even pledge allegiance anymore. It's so different now. I get it. I grew up with that, and then when I find out they don't do that anymore because it's offensive, I was like, how? It's America. How is it offensive to us Americans? It's our national thing. Who's offended by the Pledge of Allegiance? And there's like, all because of the generations of what happened back then. I'm like, okay, but it's still in America. You celebrate 4th of July, right? Do you know what happened in 4th of July? You know?
Exactly.
Like we killed a lot of British people to get this country. That was already not part of our country. It was owned by other people. So, like, what's the difference?
Exactly right. That's the point, man. Like, I don't know. People are so easily offended these days. And I'm surprised I haven't offended somebody with a YouTube video yet.
Like, for me, honestly, like, when it came to that, like, I'm a WWE guy, thick and through, since I grew up. Not WCW, not Impact or TNA, not AEW. I'm a thick through WWE. Call me a mark. I don't care. Like, I love WWE. You get me? Like, a WWF, WWE. I grew up with that. That was my generation of wrestling.
Right.
Like, I get it now, and I think in the beginning when AEW came out, I trash talk it. I still probably do, here and there, to time to time. But I tell people, like, look, we have multiple wrestling now, and we can watch whatever the hell we want now. You can watch AEW, I can watch WWE. We could coexist. You don't have to be like, WWE's doing this, and I don't have to be like, AEW is trash. Like, and now we have wrestling now. Thank God. Be thankful we have wrestling for everyone now. You know?
That's the thing, man. Wrestling is wrestling.
Like, if I want to watch my storytelling, I'll watch WWE. You know?
Yeah, if you want to see a guy get busted open the first 2 minutes of a match, you watch AEW.
Or if you want to see some more kicks. But a lot of people were A lot of people were complaining like, "Oh, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Uso were doing super kicks." Yeah, but they were paying tribute to, what they came from. You know, which was super kicks.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a tribute. It's a difference.
Super kicks, and the whole match didn't consist of 120 different super kicks.
Yeah, it was just they were paying tribute to Jay and the Briscoes, and wherever else they came from. But like, I mean, honestly, like, to me, I think that was the match of night for night one. Thank God they made that the main event. Yes, I get it. Yeah, people want to really Charlotte Flair, but in storytelling wise, that the tag team should have been the main event. I'm glad they did the main event.
I agree. I think that and I kind of knew, like, when you see the winners of the tag team title match, then you kind of already knew who was going to lose the world championship match.
Oh yeah,
you already knew.
Me and my friends already knew that because it was like, if the Usos win the belts, then maybe Roman might lose it or win it. But if the Usos lose it, for sure Roman's gonna have to win it to show that he's still dominance.
Like I said, you watch. He's got like 3 or 4 more feuds until he drops. He's got to get past 1,000 days before he drops those belts.
Oh yeah, that's what they're going for already. They're gonna drop it. I think SummerSlam maybe, because I know Roman wants to take a long break after this. So right now they're just gonna wait it. Because we still got Puerto Rico and Backlash. We got, I think, SummerSlam in I don't know if it's in England. I think.
Yeah, that's in England.
So we got Money in the Bank for England, and then SummerSlam should be coming around the corner if I'm not mistaken. So we got a while.
Yeah. So there'll be some good storytelling there too.
I just want to see where it goes from there.
I'm interested too, actually, yeah. So, I mean, but speaking of storytelling, this might be a bad segue, but really quick, I want to know when we're going to get another Legacy Wars video from you.
What do you mean?
When are we going to get another rage moment, like another where someone sends you a request and you're like, this is a stupid fucking team.
Oh, gosh.
Because it was a stupid fucking shitty team. And I'm like...
Right now, I tell people wait until I'm done with these balance updates videos, since I'm trying to get rid of all this balance. Since the Ranger Slayer, now I forgot about her. Like, oh gosh, I got the Ranger Slayer, Adam, Trent, and I believe Merrick will be the last one. And from there, now I can...
Put me ahead of the curve. I want you to do an Ion video where you just bitch about how easy it is to get wins.
Oh, dude, no lie. That fuck that character. Character is broken and making money when they're putting it 3 weeks in a row in the fucking shop.
Hey man, I'm not.
I am surprised you haven't got a level 7.
Yeah, well, listen. Okay, here's a story about that real quick. I have, Wolf Thunder Ranger, Keith knows, everybody knows. I've been waiting for Ion. He was one of my top like 5 Rangers. I was like, I'm gonna fucking
How much did you draw?
And and I was like, I'm gonna get him. Like, oh, he's coming out. I'm gonna invest. So I got him to level 4, and I started thinking. I kept going through more boxes, and I'm thinking, I'm like, man, like if I get him to level 5 or 6, like I'm originally gonna do, I'm like, it's just gonna be a waste at this point because it's gonna be nothing but easy wins. And I like the challenge of the game.
Yeah, no. This character is easy wins. Walk up to easy wins, my guy. I was like that when Orion came out. Easy wins.
So I stopped at level 4, and I mean, I love the character. I still play him, but I'm like, man, like this is, like I've got a whole video of me just going through a Silver League with him, like
so.
Like I got a video coming out of just going through Silver League.
There was
against these big name players, like Big Bird, even like facing Big Bird and Zion, all these guys, and losing and then winning against them, like even. And I'm like, I'm gonna post this video, but like after season reset, I was like, man, like I'm gonna play Tommy up a bit. I'm gonna go back to my V2 team for a bit.
There's another person, I think, Utachi something, who was waiting for Ion as well. He was kind of disappointed because obviously, like, him playing his favorite character, people are calling him, oh, you're just a meta whore. I'm like, dude, it's just the guy waiting for a while for his favorite character. Just like I waited 6 years for Orion, and now I can't even play him because everyone says, oh, you're a meta whore. I'm like, dude, I waited for this character. It's not my fault they made this character broken.
Exactly, dude. That's what I want to put out there. I'm glad you brought that up. Like, I don't play Ion. I don't play Ion because he gets easy wins. I play him because I like the character.
And I'll tell people, like, dude, I'm sorry.
I watched the Japanese version of Ryu Soul.
Yeah.
And I watched it for him, and I was like, dude, I really like this one. So, of course, like, I like the character. I'm not playing him because so people can say you're a mega player. If people want to say that, that's fine. That's just like when people say, oh, well, you assist spam. Well, let me tell you something.
Dude.
I assist spam when all I have energy for is assist.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and let you deal out,
look,
thousands of damage towards me when I can easily hit my assist and either counter it or whatever. Like, sorry.
I feel bad. I felt bad getting Gold League this season because I wasn't even trying to play Gold League. I was just trying to do my stupid Ion challenge. Get 20 wins with a super. So I hopped on Orion because it's easy. And I was like, well, I'm already in Gold.
I did it with Ion, and honestly, I was just playing Ion. I didn't pay attention to the ranks I was getting up to until it said I was in the top 200 and something. Like,
I was like 235, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I went to like 235, then like 220, and then like 211, and I was like, yo, like I'm all right. That's good for season rewards. Like I think I need to chill out a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not my fault that it's sad that the characters we get have to be broken, and I tell people, look. And I tell people, look, Ion is more broken than Orion, alright? Like, you guys are complaining about Orion because of a glitch. Yes, we took advantage of a glitch that a company did. Damn right I'm going to get a level 6.
Fuck yeah.
But, like Ion is way worse than Orion is. You got a strike that could legit shoot you in a range when you're not even in that range for some reason. You have a breaker that could chase you down. Nah.
That fucking Moza combo will chase you down to the corner.
Exactly. Not to mention, I don't know if you saw, I posted a clip of his strike could turn to a breaker if they have if they throw a counter move. And it's like, what the heck is this?
See, like, and that's the thing, man. Like, everybody's like, I think over in Big Bird server, someone got so mad at me because they said I was a mega hop in. I'm like, no. I was like, Ion, and like, thankfully some other people were like, no, he's been waiting on Ion too.
Yeah, and that's what they told me is like, they told me the same thing that I do. Like, they told me like, look,
like, it's not my fault.
Go on. I'll let you go first.
I was like, I'm like, it's not my fault they did this. Like, I would play Ion if he was as good as Xander. I'm sorry, like, I just like the character. And like with V2, like Tommy's my guy, obviously. For
yeah,
reasons,
you were best friends with him, You have the right to
like,
it.
But like I play, if I play Ninja Tommy or I play V2 or I play OG Tommy or White Tiger Tommy, it's not because I'm trying to gain this or that. It's because that's generally my favorite Mighty Morphin character, and he was a very close friend of mine. and my best friend, if you will, and I'm gonna play those characters for him. We kind of keep that memory alive in a way and
Yeah.
stuff as a little bit of a tribute in the game. And but I play Ion stuff not because he's meta, but because I like the character, and I will do the same thing when they drop Dino Charge Gold, if they drop Shredder Green Ranger,
Yeah.
and if they drop Dino Fury Black, and if they drop there was someone else I was waiting on, Dino Charge Red. So if you see me with level 4 or 5s and them walking around, everyone can just mind their business.
That's what I tell people. It's like, I'm at this point now where I don't care anymore. I'm going to use Orion. I don't give a shit. What's the point of having level 6? I'm going to keep hearing you're a meta bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck. I waited 6 years for this character, so this is 6 years of me whooping your fucking ass with a level 6. 6 years, level 6. Here you go.
Dude, that is what I've been trying to tell you. I tell you, play Orion. I don't give a fuck if he's OP or not. I tell you what, if I run into an Orion player, I can always tell if they're mega hopping or if they're a big fan of it. And for you, because it's easy to tell. If you're just mega hopping, then you're gonna spam shit. You're not gonna try to take breaks and save energy. You're gonna have like a level
Oh no,
8.
I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna beat the shit out of the Ion players because God, I'm fighting for my life against this newer, broken meta character.
We might have to have a showdown now.
I mean, I already fought a couple already, and then with Orion, it's like I gotta really predict this long range strike now because I gotta predict this shit. I gotta make sure they don't smack me with their super.
Not to give away too much of my gameplay, but I found, and try this out with your Ion whenever you play him again. But like, I like to wait when I get my super. I like to wait if I can.
10 AP.
So I have 10.
Yeah, 10, that's everyone. That's everyone. You know how many times I got beaten by that?
But I also found out that like even if I just have like I hit a super. And I've even got 3 EP. It works out that way too. I just discovered this other way of
oh yeah, you can build up.
EP,
Fuck that.
If everybody's fucking doing that, I ain't gonna.
I swear to God, if I see another week of Ion in the shop, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Dude, I can tell you right now, that surprised me, and that was why I was like, I'm not gonna do it. Like I have the crystals
temptation.
up, and right now I have the money to invest in. I just don't want to because I'm also waiting on Dino Charge Gold. I'm also waiting on.
We got a Dino Charge coming up, but it's not. That's what you want.
Oh fuck that, dude! Like okay.
It's a character from 2 years ago.
Sandra, I think she'll probably be alright. I'll probably get her to, like I said in my last video, I'll probably get her to like level 3, maybe. Like I haven't gone level 5 with an epic in a while, just because I've been saving for legendaries. Because like Keith said, he made a point. I don't care if it pisses anybody off or not. They're putting more energy, Nway's putting more time and energy in their legendaries than they are their epics right now, and it's clear to see. So I'll probably get her to like 2 or 3 if I feel like it.
For me, I don't care. I tell Keith, F you, I'll do what I want because I got crystals that stacks up, so I might as well.
Yeah, no, man.
I don't care because I do it. My channel's different. Obviously, I'm gonna show them what level 5 can do, what level 3 can do. I'm not gonna show them a level 1.
That's cool, man. But like, I mean, I took Keith's advice. I tried it out. I didn't follow him because he knows what he's talking about. Like, no offense if you're listening, Keith.
Nah,
fuck you. But
Keith saves his stuff. That's why. That's the difference. He saves his shit. He has resources to back it up because he doesn't play the game. So I seen his resource. He could back it up. But like, he could use a level 1 because he already has enough resource to make it strong. But me, I am the type that I'm gun hoing it. I'm fucking sliding there, shooting everyone up. I could care less. You know, people want to come for only the rage, and that's it. Hello? You probably got disconnected. But yeah, guys, honestly, I would just go for the gun ho of the character. That's just me, though. I do miss WWE Undefeated, though. I'll see if he comes back in there. There you go. He fixed his phone. Hold on real quick. See if that works. But yeah, guys, obviously we have wrestling, Power Rangers, Sentai. A lot in common. Wrestling fanatics too. CM Punk fan. Was a CM Punk fan for me though. Was. He broke my heart.
This is weird.
There you go. Yeah, I can hear you now. Little technical.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I could hear you talking, and I was saying I was talking, and then you said you couldn't hear me. So sorry about that.
No, I think your mic got muted or something like that. It happens. Discord be weird sometimes. You just gotta end the call and join back in.
Well, either way, but yeah, man. Like I heard what you said. Yeah, that's your thing. Like I'm not doing that because Keith told me to do it. I'm doing it because like that's just what I think I'm doing. Like I'm waiting for my characters that I've been waiting for because I mean I'm who knows, I might start going back to getting epics all the way up to at least the base level 5 and then going from there. But we'll see. I don't really have like as big a following as you and Keith do though. So we'll see.
I mean, that boy has more following than I do. But the only difference is he stopped doing Legacy Wars. I could just continue it.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that he stopped doing that for a while, and he mainly does and when he does make a video, he just does the community day matches,
which is easy for him. It makes sense. He doesn't want to spend. Doesn't want to spend. Right, he just rather just do what he got to do, unless it's something he wants. But even if it's something he wants, he still wouldn't spend.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Like I mean, for me, like I said, Xander coming to the grid this Friday. I might get a level 5, or I might just...
I wanted Putty.
Right now yeah, I did too, man. I got excited. I was ready to put him to level 5. So I think, like, right now... I got the crystals. I got over 20,000 crystals.
Goddamn.
You know what I mean?
You've been spending.
Yeah, I've been spending. But,
I think I only have 10K just because I took a lot of my crystals for some fucking reason. I felt like the drop rate was pretty bad for him.
I got like over 20K now. Like I spent, like when Ion came out to give him to level 4, I spent another 100 just to get more crystals, just because I didn't want to get below a certain point, a certain amount of power crystals.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, Legacy Wars is all about the crystals.
Yeah, $100 sounds about right for a level 4 Ion.
Yeah, I was prepared to go up. I was probably going to go up like $500 on him.
As someone who did a level 7 Dom, it's around that, like 100 and something bucks.
Yeah. Like whenever I was gonna spend I was willing to go to like 500 for a level, even a level 7 of him. But I started thinking, I was like, man, like he is still broken. Even at level 4, like his damage output is really good.
Yeah, you don't need a level 5.
No, I was like, I'm gonna keep him here and just kind of, do my thing with him, and I'll get him to level 5 whenever he's out of premium, and I'm getting, power. I'm getting shards and like boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's another good Ranger, Dom. I really like even with his nerf.
He's still good. It's no different than other character. You just have to play him a little bit more, not aggressive anymore, just somewhat smart.
Exactly. Like I find myself sometimes if I'm bored, I'm at home, I got nothing else to do, I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch old videos of that you've done or like Keith's done of unboxings from the past. Like I remember whenever like when Dom came out and whenever Connor came out, stuff like that. Yeah. And another character people still bitch about is Blaze, but I think he's pretty balanced now.
He's decent now. He's not as broken, but you can still beat him with your primary slots.
Right.
That's just still dangerous.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. Like it's good to be able to talk about Legacy Wars like this with someone too, besides just typing in Discord.
Oh yeah.
Like a video. Like I think next time you do one of these podcasts, if you do strictly Legacy Wars, count me in.
If it's Legacy Wars, it's pretty much going to be complaining about how the company should really fucking fix the game.
Man, I can tell you, they really need to. Like, there's a lot of shit. Like, I don't know how many times, like, I had an issue. It was probably just me, though, because it was or iOS, because I have an iPhone, but it was probably just that. But, like, I wasn't getting my VIP boxes for, like, a day or two. And I emailed them, like, hey, what am I paying the VIP subscription monthly for if I'm not getting my boxes?
Oh, dude.
You know?
There's a lot of issues with this game. It's a lot. If I'm making a podcast about Nway or just Legacy Wars and Nway in general, it's going to be a long-ass fucking podcast.
They'll find your account and shut you down.
Jesus Christ. They won't even shut me down. I just complain that they need to really... You have all these workers and you really need to fix a lot of shit. Like, people complain about it, you guys ignore it.
The thing is, like, with that, too, is, like, okay, so I don't know who's going to listen to this. He might listen to this.
People will.
If he is, you know, that's cool. Big Bird, if you're listening to this, man, I got no problem with you, but, like, that's the first person came to mind when I say this. Complaining to Nway about this or that, they don't fucking care. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care how much money you spend as long as they're getting the money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you complain to them, well, I'm gonna, you know, because I've seen a lot of people do this, actually. Well, I'm gonna quit if you don't update this. Well, then quit because, you know, they've still got millions of other people playing across the world.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, it don't matter how much we bitch to them or what we tell them. Like, you know, they're going to do what they want to do. Like, that's just not at the end of the day. Like with Tommy, like, they're not going to add the White Dragon. The only way they can do that is if Matt and the Son signed off on it.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'll tell you who I'd like to see in the game, but it's not going to make sense since they had V2, is Matt Cook.
They might.
I wish that he was.
They will.
Think so?
They will. They've been adding a lot of Boom comic book characters. They'll add that.
Well, I can tell you this right now, and I want this to be said first, because I didn't even post about this. I want this to be said right here first, and you heard it first, by the way, R2. You heard it first here. If they add Matt Cook, Green Ranger, to the game, I will also invest in him.
Nice.
I don't care. He was one of my favorite Rangers in the comics. Like, I'm a big fan. Like, I even spoke to, well, I guess I can say this now, to do a YouTube series, like a live-action Boom Comics Power Ranger Studios with the AZ Productions Studios on Instagram, who does a lot of, like, fan films and fan series as playing Matt Cook.
Nice.
For them as homage to as homage to Jason, because, you know, no one wants to recast or, you know, whatever, Tommy.
Of course.
Out of so, you know, the Green Ranger, so right there. But anyway, I'll talk about that more another time. But yeah, so if they add Matt Cook, I'll be on that train too.
Of course. Can't wait. But honestly, I believe. Honestly, I'm more annoyed that they added a character that was fucking 2 years ago. That should have been out 2 years ago. But they're like, let's just be lazy about it. And like, oh, guess what? Surprise! Like, the fuck? First of all, you should have added her on Valentine's Day. That is a Valentine's character, not Roxy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should have switched. They should have put Roxy this month.
Yeah, because it's Easter. In a way, she was a Rabbit Ranger first before she became a villain. Or was going to be the Rabbit Ranger.
Yeah. If they were going to match it up to Easter, it should have been the Yellow Beast Morpher.
Definitely.
But she was a rabbit, wasn't she? Or Jack
yeah, it's a jackrabbit, but it's the same thing. Rabbit. They hop. Yeah. Well, honestly, like, this company, if we were doing a podcast on that, I wanted, like, a different day for this. We could just talk shit about it.
Yeah, I'm in to do it a different day, man. I'm always down for Legacy Wars talk.
But, no, I think this was good enough talk. It's been a good while.
Yeah, man.
But honestly, it's good to have a guest like you here, sir. Welcome to the first ever wrestling talk in a way with some little bit of Legacy Wars. But we got to talk about you doing wrestling, watching wrestling, WrestleMania, all this shit, which is good. I kind of wanted to do something like that where I just talk with people. We just talk. Because it's good to kind of take a break from the recording Legacy Wars and other games just to kind of wind down and just talk just randomly.
Man, 100%. Like, I appreciate you having me. Like, this has been fun. And any other time that you want to have me to talk about wrestling or Legacy Wars or cosplay or bullshit, whatever, man.
Of course. Down. This is what Rage Cast is all about. Just talking about whatever. Just throwing it out there, riffing, as they like to call the promos, or The Rock likes to do when he does his promos. Just riff.
It's all on the wrist.
Exactly. But man, speaking of Rock, I was watching a bunch of his promos. Man, that guy could promo the fuck out of a
His
shit.
promos are the best, man.
Oh, I was watching the Billy Gunn one, the fucking Bob.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there it is, Bob. Oh god, classics, dude. Like that guy, fuck. The '90s was the Rock, and I was a big Rock fan.
Same, yeah. 100% Rock fan and Austin fan. I was also a big fan of Chris Jericho and Triple H.
Oh, all of them. Everyone did this shit. But I think me was the Rock in general because we both share the same birthday, different years. But like I can understand how he is, and I'm like, yep, that sounds like me once in a while. Just fucking run it. Just charismatic, just riffed right through. When I rage, I just riffed it.
That's why people tune into your channel, man.
Right. See, if I ever be a wrestler, that'd just be a promo guy. Or if you're a manager, I'll just be promoting. Just because promos are so easy to, it's fun. You could just let it rip and just go with it, hype people up.
I love doing promos, man. I definitely think you'd be good at it.
Of course, I'll tune it down, just to make it PG.
Yeah, depending on the show, but yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Alright, man. Well, this is a good talk. I'm gonna probably get the phone charge and stuff and edit this and upload it.
Alright, man. Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
No problem. Do you want to plug your channel?
Yeah, it's just Aaron Sullivan on YouTube. I don't really have a fancy name right now. It's just my real name, not my wrestling name or anything. But that might change. I might change the name of my channel at some point.
Man, you gotta put your wrestling name, man.
Yeah, but I want people to get to know the real stuff behind it too. Like, it's more than just, because I'm uploading more than just wrestling stuff on here, you know what I mean? So
it's Aaron Sullivan?
Yep. Sullivan, Sullivan. It's got my picture for Legacy Wars with the Green Ranger you made me with American Psycho, which is my Legacy Wars username.
Is that your wrestling name as well?
Yeah, the American Psycho, Aaron Brooks, yeah.
Nice. I'm glad you use that as your wrestling name. Obviously, you can't be like Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. So it's not bad you have a way to kind of have it, American Psycho.
Yeah, it was actually given to me during a match by a commentator, so it just kind of stuck.
Makes sense. It's a classic movie as well.
I love the movie. One of my favorite movies. It's got Batman in it. Nah, I'm just kidding. Christian Bale.
Yeah, so it makes sense. It's a good name. So I'll plug in your channel as well. That way people can click on it. For sure.
All right, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, man. You have a good day.
All right, you too, man. See you later.
Take it easy. And guys, this is Ragecast. That was Aaron Sullivan, aka Aaron Brooks. Who pretty much is a good guy, good wrestler, good cosplayer. Does amazing Deadpool, and what else does he do? Deadpool and Batman. He does a lot of Batman cosplays as well. I'll plug in his channel if you guys could check him out. He does also Legacy Wars if you're into that as well. He was friends with JDF. They were very good best friends. He was part of their team, and he's a wrestler, man. He's gonna eventually make it big someday. So good to know that you guys might know a future Hall of Famer. But yeah, guys, that's Ridgecast. We'll be doing more here and often as well. Obviously, as you can hear, we're gonna be talking shit about Nway soon. So stay tuned for that. This is Second Rider 8. Same piece.